Hey everybody, my name is Edward Araujo. Welcome to today's webinar Wednesday, Credit Decoded. I was actually trying to go live from our business page and we were having some errors on there, so I'm just going to go ahead and go live from my own profile here. And if you see the title there, what we try to do in the webinar, we talk all things credit and we answer questions, we go over topics and, just give you guys the real information here. If you all can hear me, because we did have some issues with the live earlier, can you put a 1 in the comments there? If you can hear me, put a 1. If you can see me, okay, put a 2. And if you can see me and hear me, go ahead and put a 3. And I'll just wait real quick, see if, wait for a couple people to jump on and make sure that we are also actually live here. Hey, Gabriel. Gabriel, do me a favor. If you can hear me, put a 1 in the comments there. That way I know that we're good to go here. So I'll just go ahead and wait a couple minutes here. Also, the question that we got for today was, how many points does an inquiry lower your score? So if you think you know or you want to throw a guess out there, also go ahead and put that in the comments. How many points does an inquiry lower your score? So I'll just wait for confirmation, make sure that we're good to go here. All right. Okay, looks like we may be good to go. Ruben, hey Ruben. Hey Ruben, if you can hear me, can you put a 1 in the comments to make sure, because we're having some issues with this a little while ago. If you can hear me, put a 1 in the comments there so I know that everybody can hear. If not, I'll just go ahead and get started here. So let me see here. And I was gonna go ahead and try to share this. Okay. All right. So I'm just gonna go ahead and get started here. Again, if you're just joining, if you can hear me, press a 1. If you can see me, put a number 2. And if you can hear me and see me, put a number 3. Okay, so let's get right into it. So one of the things that I get asked the most has to be, how many points does an inquiry lower your score? Okay. The first thing I want to talk about is that there's the 2 basic types of inquiries. Okay, you have what's called a hard inquiry or a hard pull, and then you have what's called a soft inquiry or a soft pull. Okay, so a hard pull or hard inquiry is when someone has or a company has permissible purpose to pull your credit. Basically, when you're applying for something, right? Whether it be a car, a credit card, a loan, a cell phone, whatever it may be. Okay, so that's a hard inquiry. And those are the ones that can potentially impact or lower your credit score. The other type of inquiry is a soft inquiry or promotional type of inquiry. Those happen when you're checking your own credit, when you're on Credit Karma, when you're pulling a credit monitoring report, when you're basically checking your own credit. Okay, so those are soft inquiries and they don't have any impact on your credit score. And sometimes a soft inquiry may be like a promotional, what they call inquiry, to where a credit card company may be doing a soft pull on your report to give you a pre-approved offer. Okay, but those don't impact your credit score. So our focus here is going to be hard inquiries. So again, they ask, how many points does an inquiry lower your score? And I've heard answers all over the board from 1 point, 10 points, 25, 50 points. Okay, the answer is, it really depends. There's no specific point amount assigned to an inquiry. Okay, it's going to depend on a lot of different factors. For example, how many inquiries, how long ago, what types of inquiries, all these different things are going to play an impact, a role in if it even lowers your score or not. I've seen times where some inquiries don't have any impact. They don't lower your score at all. I've seen 1 point, 2 points, 3 points, 5 points, 10 points. Okay, it really depends. So the general rule of thumb is going to be just to not apply when you don't need to. Now, inquiries are one of the smallest parts of your credit score. It's basically about 10% of your overall credit score is made up of or factored by inquiries. Okay, so it's not that big of a deal. okay, but they can impact your score. So and there's different types, okay? So one of the things that happens with hard inquiries is that there's this thing called deduping. And what that means is that they'll basically group a lot of these inquiries together and count them as one or weigh them as one. So there's three types of inquiries that happens with, and it's with auto inquiries, mortgage inquiries, and student loan inquiries, okay? So the algorithm basically gives you or allows you the opportunity to rate shop and try to get a better rate. So for example, and it varies by score model, but it's usually safe to say within 30 days. Okay, so usually if you get a whole bunch of, let's say, car inquiries, vehicle inquiries, you're out at a dealership, they show it, shotgun it to a bunch of different banks, you go to another dealership, shouldn't worry about it too much because they are going to group them together and they're going to be weighed as one. Usually if it's done within a month, okay? That happens also when you're shopping for a mortgage and student loans per se. So now, what you want to remember also, it's not only the score impact that inquiries can potentially have on your credit report or score, but they just don't look very good if you have a bunch of inquiries, okay? One thing is your score, and one thing is the health of your credit report or how it looks, okay? It never looks good to have a bunch of inquiries on there grouped together, especially if it's right before you're trying to qualify for something, for example, a house, okay? You're trying to get a business loan or whatever it may be, because it shows risk. You seem riskier, right? Why are you applying for so many personal loans, recently? So it's not only the impact that they could potentially have, but that they just don't look good on your profile, okay? But general rule of thumb is just don't apply unless you really need to, not just because you're at the store and they're offering you 10%, 15% off the purchase, unless it's something that you really want, because then, you can potentially rack up some inquiries and potentially hurt your score, okay? But if it's something you have to apply for, go ahead, okay? Just be mindful of not just applying all the time, okay? Also, hard inquiries only hurt or impact your score if they're actually impacting it for 1 year, okay? So after 1 year, that inquiry or those inquiries will no longer have an impact on your credit score, okay? And then they should actually fall off of your credit report after 2 years, okay? So that's the good thing, is that if you do rack up some inquiries, they're only going to impact your score for about a year, and then they have no impact anymore, okay? So remember, auto, mortgage, and student loan inquiries, they get grouped together if they're done within a certain time frame, so that helps you out. It's not, you've got 20 inquiries in there from 20 different banks when you went to the car dealership. Now, if it's not those three types, if it's you're applying for a loan, a credit card, a cell phone, those they do count one by one, and they would, each impact you individually. Okay? I hope that helped clear up some things about inquiries. If you have any questions about inquiries, I'm going to be on here just a little bit more. If you have any questions about credit in general, go ahead and type them in the comments there. If you're watching the replay, still leave them in the comments, please. Me or my team try to come back and respond to as many of these as we can. If you're looking to improve your credit, if you need to repair it, feel free to reach out to us. There's a link. There should be a link in the post or in the description there where you can book a free consultation with me or someone on my team. Totally free. We go over your credit report with you. You'll have a board certified consultant go over your credit report with you, let you know exactly what's going on, what you can do either on your own, or if you're looking to hire professional service, how maybe we may be able to assist you. At the very least, after that consultation, you know exactly what's going on with your credit, what can and can't be done, and how you can improve it. It's always free. You can book it at the link there, and we'd be glad to help you out. So if anybody doesn't have any questions, I'll go ahead and wrap it up. Let me see here. Let me just double check, make sure we don't have any questions here. No, doesn't look like we do. So again, Hope that helped clear up some things about inquiries. If you have any other questions, feel free to send me a message, post it in the comments here. You can shoot us an email at info@texasconsumercredit.com. If it's something you'd like for me to talk about on one of the lives, things that you've heard, things you've got questions about, I'd be glad to answer them and maybe even do it, like I mentioned on a live. And if anybody doesn't have any questions, I'm going to go ahead and wrap it up. Hope everyone has a wonderful rest of their Wednesday, and I'll talk to you guys next week.